Hello friends, if your sentences feel flat or lifeless, this video is definitely for you. Today we are diving into how adjectives and adverbs can make your writing more vivid, exciting and powerful when used in the right way. This is English Classes Online and I am your host Benjamin. Let's dive right in. Spice up your writing with adjectives and adverbs. This is the focus of today's video. Let's begin with the first basic question. What are adjectives and adverbs? Adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. For example, bright sky. The adjective here is bright, describing the noun sky. Tired dog. The word tired is a past participle used as an adjective and it describes the noun dog. Now, adverbs. Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. For example, run quickly, very tired. Now, in the phrase run quickly, the adverb is quickly, describing the verb run. In the phrase very tired, the adverb is very, describing the adjective tired. Now, adjectives and adverbs add flavor to your writing. They help readers see, feel, and hear what is happening, but only when used with purpose. Okay? Now let's look at adjectives in action. Adjectives add sensory details. They add rich sensory details. For example, the fragrant, dewy rose. Now, the noun here is rose, which of course the rose flower that you may be conversant with. Now, the adjectives here, fragrant, dewy, add sensory details, details that appeal to your senses, in describing the rose. Fragrant, dewy. What about clarifying specifics? Adjectives clarify specific characteristics. For example, the ancient moss-covered bridge. You see the specific characteristics of the bridge highlighted by the adjectives ancient and moss-covered. What about conveying emotion? That's another work of adjectives. Adjectives effectively convey emotions. For example, her joyful smile lit the room. See, the emotion conveyed here is that of joy. Her joyful smile lit the room. Now let's look at adverbs in action. Adverbs describe manner. That's the first thing we look at. Adverbs describe how an action is performed. For example, she sang beautifully. If you say she sang, the listener may want to know how she performed in the singing. She sang beautifully, describing the manner in which she sang. Now, adverbs also intensify qualities. Apart from describing manner, they intensify qualities. They can intensify an adjective. For example, the results were surprisingly good. Now, the adverb here is surprisingly, and this is an intensifying adverb used to intensify the adjective good. The results were surprisingly good. Adverbs also indicate time. Adverbs often indicate time or frequency. For example, they often visit the library. The adverb here is often and is an adverb of frequency describing how frequently they visit the library. Now let's look at strong versus weak adjectives and adverbs. Let's begin with the weak. When you use phrases like very big, really nice, or extremely tired, these are all weak adjectives and adverbs. Now, the strong alternatives are massive. Instead of saying very big, you can say massive. Instead of saying really nice, you can say delightful. Instead of saying extremely tired, you can say exhausted. Exhausted. Okay? So, your choice of adjectives and adverbs will actually enhance your writing. They help to spice up your writing. Words like very and really often weaken your writing. So instead, choose strong, specific words that carry more meaning, just as we have already demonstrated. Now let's look at when to use and when to cut them off. All right? Now use them when you want to enhance clarity, tone, or emotion. Okay, so you use them in this way, but you cut them when the word is redundant, when it is unnecessary, or it adds no value at all, so you cut them off. All right? Think of adjectives and adverbs as seasoning. A little goes a long way, okay? If your sentence works without it, consider cutting it. Now let's look at common mistakes to avoid. Number one, overusing very, really, extremely. You need to avoid them. Another mistake is doubling up unnecessarily. For example, completely destroy. You need to avoid such. Then using vague words like nice, bad, good should also be avoided. These are common mistakes. One of the biggest writing traps is over-explaining or using lazy descriptors. Let your verbs and nouns do the heavy lifting. Let them do the important job. Now let's look at before versus after spicing up your writing. Let's take some examples. Now let's look at this example. The dog was very tired and really slow. Okay, let's look at it. The dog was very tired and really slow. You see, these are all very weak, adjectives and adverbs. Now, when you spice them up, it should look like something like this. The exhausted dog trudged along sluggishly. The exhausted dog trudged along sluggishly. See? So in this case, you are showing, not just telling. Okay? Let's look at another example. It was a very beautiful day. It was a very beautiful day. You know, this is a very weak way of describing the day, because here you are telling, you are not showing. Okay? Now let's look at when you spice it up, you will have something like this. Okay? The sun blazed in a cloudless sapphire sky. The sun blazed in a cloudless sapphire sky. Okay? So you can see how you can spice up your writing, make it more impactful. So you can see the difference. Okay? See the difference? Strong adjectives and strong adverbs help to create a clear mental image and make your writing unforgettable. So aim at using them. Now here are the pro tips. You need to show, don't tell. Okay, show, don't tell. Okay, let's look at example of telling. He was very angry. You know, this is just a dull way of telling something. Okay, but you can spice this up, you know, by showing instead of telling. So in showing, you can say his fists clenched and his face turned crimson. Okay, his fists clenched and his face turned crimson. So here you are showing exactly with very powerful words instead of simply telling something in a weak way. You can use very, very strong words, strong adjectives, strong uh, verbs, strong adverbs, okay, to actually show what you want to convey. So instead of labeling emotions, show exactly what they look like and what they feel like. All right, instead of simply telling them or narrating them, you know, show what they look and feel like. That's a more professional way to write. Actions, senses, and metaphors are your best friends. You need to focus on showing vivid details rather than just telling. Your writing can become captivating, engaging, and powerful. Okay? So that's exactly how to spice up your writing with adjectives and adverbs. This is where we draw the curtains on today's video. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video and share it with others. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you will always have access to our new videos. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video goes live on the channel, you will be notified instantly. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.